Questions to ask your partner before you finally decide to get married. Hi, my name is Paul Friedman. I founded the Marriage Foundation, and we also founded a sister organization called Premarital Academy, which can probably help you a lot. And it sounds like you're starting to get serious about somebody, and now you want to know, am I missing anything? So let's talk about what it is that you're getting married for. You're getting married so that you could be happier. Every single day of your life, you should be happier than the day before when you're married. It's one of the promises of marriage, and it's legitimate. It should be a demand also of your marriage. And the other thing that you're looking for when you get married is the feeling of love, unconditional love, marital love. Again, should be an expectation. That way, these two things, you could move towards having them in ever-increasing volume every day of your lives when you know how. So the questions that you're going to ask your potential have to do with this. You want to make sure that, for instance, there's nothing to block these things from happening, like drug abuse. So in today's world, a very common good question is, do you smoke pot? If you smoke pot, well, yeah, a couple times last year I did. No big deal. Oh yeah, every day. Big deal. Because we already know what pot does to the mind. Do you use heroin? Just kidding. Obviously, you wouldn't even be looking at these kind of videos if you were involved with someone who's using hard drugs. But then there's deeper questions that are really very personal. You want to be on the same page in terms of your values. Many years ago, I had a good friend, still a good friend, who was a professional basketball player. And he used to bring by his potentials for me to evaluate them for him. And he was pretty well known, pretty famous guy. So he was even dating at one point an ex-girlfriend of Sting's, who you may be too young to remember, but a very, very famous singer and musician, and very famous. And she and I got talking, and my friend believes in God very deeply. And we talked for a while, and I said to him afterwards, she doesn't believe in God. And he goes, you're kidding. He never bothered to ask. Well, this is important, because if they have children, eventually married someone who they were very compatible with each other, but when you have children, you want them to be raised with certain values. So, for some people, it happens now that we're going through a period of an election, so people are thinking in terms of, what party do I identify myself with? Not so important. Politics comes and goes, but it may be you need to have a list of things that are important to you and ask those questions. Don't be afraid, because if you don't ask those questions, problems are for sure going to come up. Now, maybe you're a little timid about it. So what you could do, for instance, is you could create a list, things that are important to me, and have your partner write things that are important to me, and then switch. And then you could go home afterwards, and you could say, look, I don't think it's going to work out. Or, wow, I had no idea you believe the same way I do about this very important topic. Big topic, for instance, for most people is abortion. Some people, I'm completely anti-abortion, but some people are not. Some people think it's okay as long as it's done within a certain period of time. You should know about how each of you feels. How many children do you want to have? What are your ambitions in life? How much money are we going to make? Are you going to work? Am I going to work? Should we work together? Do you want to start a business? These could be important questions, but you need to ask those questions that are important to you. So the first step is to put a list down of important questions. Maybe even Google, what are important questions to ask? And you need to then put a value on those. I mean, obviously, if you believe in God and you pray, maybe you even meditate. That's a big deal for you. You certainly don't want to be with someone who is an activist atheist, or vice versa. So I'm very glad you're asking this question, and you need to approach it very personally, because it's a very personal question for you. Okay, I hope that helps. Please visit the other site, Premarital Academy. Maybe we have some things for you that would be helpful. God bless and take care. Thank you for taking the time.